All right, I hereby call this meeting to order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of West Palm Beach. I will be the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. Generally speaking, we hear the building code cases on the agenda first, and the city will call the cases as they appear in the agenda. If you've appeared at today's hearing, your case will be called before those where no one has appeared, but that is only true if you have signed in. So if you have not signed in, please see an officer at the rear of the chamber and make sure that you have signed in for your case. Once your case is called, I'm going to ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first. You'll have an opportunity to review the evidence and ask questions of any of the city's witnesses. You will also then have the opportunity to testify and present me with any of your own evidence. Once I have all the testimony and evidence, I will make a ruling. I will either enter a written order today at the hearing or in the next few days, which you will receive a copy of. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is not meant to be a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here. Now, although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony given today is under oath. So if you're going to testify or you think you might testify or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask you to rise and raise your right hand so that you can be sworn in. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida.
Yes, sir.
All right, please be seated, and the city can call the first case.
First case number 2, 2100 45th Street, CEBLD 240305550, number 2, 2100 45th Street.
Go ahead, sir.
Good morning. My name is Saul Yarmish, and I am an inspector for the city of West Palm. Code case CEBLDT 240305550 at 2100 45th Street. I observed a
Sir,
demo.
can you speak a little more clearly into the mic?
The mic.
Yeah.
It's too low. Thank you.
I observed the demo and structural work being performed without a permit. I issued a violation to stop work order on job on March 27th of 2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on September 16th, 2024. It's posted in the City Hall on September 19th, 2024. It was posted on the property on September 16th, 2024. The certified mail was delivered and returned on October 2nd, 2024. Again, I observed the demo and structural work being performed without a permit. The pictures depict the alleged violation and reflect what I am testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for the work observed and what was displayed in pictures shown. Permits have not been applied for and have not been issued. Inspections have not been performed. Included in the files a copy of my notice of violation and affidavit of posting. I have been in contact with someone from their office. She told me that she was working on it. I extended the violation for 2 or 3 times, and they have not applied for a permit as of today. The city recommends 60 days to comply with $100 per day after that.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Did you take the photos that we saw yourself?
Yes,
And do these photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations being cited today?
yes,
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable time to come into compliance for these violations?
yes.
Special Magistrate, I would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Robert Spiegel? Seeing no one without objection, I'll enter an evidence the evidence your case file in this case, including the documents and pictures as City's Composite Exhibit 1. Inspector, so you observed demolition and construction on the property?
Yes,
And to date, there is no permit filed on this property?
Yes, correct.
All right, case CEBLD 2403055, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of FBC 105.1 and FBC 110.3, which is failure to obtain a building permit and required inspections for demolition and construction occurring on the property. Respondent has 60 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 3, 7515 South Flagler Drive, CE 2306092, number 3, 7515 South Flagler.
Good morning. My name is Joe Valdez, Building Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. This case is CE 2306092 at 7515 South Flagler Drive. I observed if you have the photos up, new concrete driveway being formed. And I issued the citation at 6/20/23, which is a while ago. The notice of violation was mailed, certified mail on 9/17/24, posted at City Hall on 9/19/2024, and was posted on the property on 9/18/2024. It was delivered certified mail on 9/18/2024. The observation, as you can see by the pictures, was a new driveway being formed without any previous permits or inspections. And the pictures do truthfully and accurately depict what was going on there at the time. Permits since then have been applied for, have not been issued. So they've been in this process for a long time. No inspections have been done, nothing. I have had contact with the owner and a contractor that he hired, but it's been futile, been back and forth, and I told him, you guys gotta get this done. So they have applied, but they haven't had any, inspections or anything, and I've given them several extensions. So at this point, since they do have the permits, I'm gonna say 30 days, so they can call all their inspections, but they should be able to do that in that time frame. And after that, $50 a day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You stated the permits have been applied for. Do you know when the permits were applied for?
I don't have that date right now,
Okay.
on here, but it's been a while back.
Yeah, we would need that, we would like that date
Okay,
as far
I
as
will get that date for you.
the permits. The issue is, do you know the length of time that it'll take the city to issue a permit?
Well, the permits have been issued,
Okay, so the permits have been
but
applied and issued?
yes, they haven't
Okay.
done inspections. No inspections they haven't called for any of the inspections, and part of the fine for the citation was permits and inspections, including the final inspection. That would take care of the case, so at this point.
Okay,
And it's been going on for a while now.
okay, great. And you believe 30 days is a reasonable
Oh,
time?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And what was the amount on the fine, please?
50.
$50? Okay, thanks for that clarification, that the permits
So
have been
are we-
issued. We're
Are we
waiting for
proceeding
inspection.
under FBC 105.1 or just FBC 110.3?
What's that?
So the two sections this is cited under are failure to obtain a permit and failure to get the required inspections. But if you're
Yes,
saying
sir.
they issued the permit, then we're really just under FBC 110.3,
Yes.
right?
At this point, yes.
Nothing further from the city at this point, Special Magistrate. We're requesting the case file be admitted as well into evidence, as well as the building inspector's testimony and the photographs.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept an evidence, the evidence for case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. Did you say you had had conversations with them?
Yes.
And they said that they were going to get the inspections, but they have yet to schedule them?
Exactly.
Can you give me a sense of how long it's been since they said they were going to do this?
Probably a couple of months,
So plenty of time to have it done.
plenty of time.
In case CE 230609292, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of FBC 110.3, which is failure to obtain required inspections for their permit. I'm going to give the respondent 30 days to bring that into compliance or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Number 4, 1543 40th Street, CEBLD 24050581. Number 4, 1543 40th Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ryan Brown. I'm the Chief Plumbing Inspector for City of West Palm Beach. Code case number CEBLD 24050581. The address where the alleged violation occurred is 1543 40th Street, West Palm Beach. The violation that I observed, new windows installed prior to the permit issuance. I was driving down the road, imminent discovery, saw new windows, stickers still on the windows. Did a permit search, found a permit that was applied for, but had not been issued yet. So I posted a stop work order, posted it to the door on May 30th of 2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on September 8th, 2024, posted at City Hall on September 19th, 2024, and was posted on the property on September 17th, 2024. Certified mail was delivered September 20th, 2024. Those pictures do accurately depict the violation that I observed. Permits and inspections are definitely required for the work observed and what is being displayed in the pictures. Permits have been applied for but have not been issued. Inspections have not been performed. Included in my file is a copy of the notice of violation and the affidavit of posting. I have had contact with the owner and the original contractor. The original contractor explained to me that the owner pushed for them to go ahead and install the windows even though they knew the permit was not issued. I explained to the contractor they should know better regardless. And then the conflict became that the owner didn't want to pay the 4 times the fee once they'd been caught. The owner has reached out to me since the posting and has explained that he no longer wants to deal with the contractor and has applied for his own permit, so there are 2 permits applied for. Neither one of them have been issued at this time. So I'm going to recommend, or the city is going to recommend that we give them 120 days to complete the permitting process and get their inspections both, or apply a $25 per day fine. Windows is typically a turnaround permit. It doesn't take as long as a normal remodel. So I would say that's more than enough time to bring the alleged violation into compliance, and that fee would be more than reasonable for the alleged violation.
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
So did you take these photos in the file yourself?
Yes, I did.
And I believe you stated, but do you believe 120 days is a reasonable time for both to secure the permit and have the inspections done?
I do.
And when were the permits applied for?
The most recent one was applied for just recently. I was trying to look that up before I walked up here because I knew you were going to ask.
Understood, but 120.
I think it was 2408, which would have been August of 24. So like I said, I spoke with the guy. He said that was his intention was to apply for it as a homeowner and go around the original contractor. I explained that there was several options, change of contractor, etc. But he chose to go ahead and apply for his own permit. And as no documents have been submitted yet, nothing has been actually submitted. So I decided to go ahead and move it forward to Magistrate and give him a final deadline.
Understood. Nothing further from the city. Special Magistrate, I would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of the building inspector, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll enter into evidence the evidence your case file in this case, including the documents and pictures. I don't think I really have anything to ask you here. In case CEBLD 24050581, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of FPC 105.1 and FPC 110.3, installing windows without a permit. Our respondent has 120 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $25 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 10, 2813 Parker Avenue, CEBLD 24080620. Number 10, 2813 Parker Avenue.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Pennington, Building Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. The code case number is CEBLD 24080620. The address where the violation occurred is 2813 Parker Avenue. The violation I observed is interior-exterior renovations. I issued the violation and posted the stop work order on the property on August 5th, 2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on September 13th, 2024. It was posted at City Hall on September 19th, 2024, and posted on the property September 16th, 2024. Certified mail was delivered to the front desk on September 23rd, 2024. To support my observations for each violation are replacement of new electrical panel and new air conditioning equipment. The pictures show truthfully and accurately depict the alleged violation and reflect to what I'm testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for the work I observed and what is displayed in the photos shown. Permits have been applied for, permits have not been issued, inspections have not been performed. Included in my file is a copy of the notice of violation and affidavit of posting. I have had contact with the contractor's representative. The results of the contact was he did not know why the permit was not issued. The city recommends 90 days to comply and $50 per day after that. The time to bring the alleged violations into compliance is a reasonable amount of time. I'm submitting as evidence a copy of the case file, including documents relied upon.
Good morning, sir. Did you take the photos in the file yourself?
I did.
And do you know when the permits were applied for?
The mechanical permit was applied for, I believe, October 8th. I believe the electrical permit has been issued, but no inspections have been conducted at this point.
Okay, nothing further from the city. Special Magistrate, I'd like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence, barring any objection.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. Is there anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Inspector Pennington, which permits do they need and which ones have they applied for?
They've applied for the mechanical permit. It's in plan review. The electrical permit has been issued, but no inspections have been conducted.
And they would be in compliance if they obtained both of those permits and the required inspections?
Yeah.
All right, in case CEBLD 24080620, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of FBC 105.1 and 110.3. Failure to obtain permits and required inspections for a mechanical permit and electrical permit. Respondent has 90 days to come into compliance or fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Number 11, also for 2813 Parker Avenue, CEBLD 24010494.
So Kevin Pennington, Building Inspector of the City of West Palm Beach, code case number CEBLD 24010494. The address is 2813 Parker Avenue. The violation I observed was interior-exterior renovations. I issued the violation, posted the stop work order on the property May 1st, 2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on September 13th, 2024. And it was posted at the City Hall on September 19th, 2024. It was posted on the property September 16th, 2024. The certified mail was delivered to the front desk September 23rd, 2024. To support my observations for the violation are replacement new windows. The photos shown truthfully and accurately depict the alleged violation and reflect what I am testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for the work I observed. and what is displayed on pictures shown. The permits have been applied for and the permits have been issued. At this point, there's haven't not been any inspections performed, but it appears they have complied at this point in time.
And did you take the photos that we saw yourself?
Yes, I did.
And so they have complied with securing a building permit,
Yes.
and they've complied with the inspection as well?
I did not indicate the violation of required inspections, only obtaining the permit.
Okay, understood. And how long are you asking for to come in compliance, or they're in compliance?
They did comply and they do have the permit.
Okay.
They haven't closed it out, but they have.
Understood. Special Magistrate, I would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Without objection, I'll accept an evidence evidentiary case file in this case, including the documents and photos. Inspector Pennington, what are you asking me for here?
I am just letting you know they complied. They have the issued permit.
Special Magistrate, if I may, there was just a timing issue off for it to not be deemed compliant before here, coming before you. So we're essentially, the city's not asking for anything because it's recently been complied with.
Okay.
It was just not updated on the agenda.
Okay, all right, then we're done.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. I was just made aware of it 2 seconds before you called to order.
Okay, number 12, 612 Upland Road, CEBLD 240400569.
So I, Kevin Pennington, building inspector for the city of West Palm Beach. Code case number is CEBLD 240400569. The address, the violation occurred is 612 Upland Road. The violation I observed was construction of an outdoor kitchen with gas appliances. I issued the violation and posted the stop work order on the property April 26, 2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on September 13th, 2024, and it was posted at the city on September 19th, 2024, and it was posted on the property on September 16th, 2024. The certified mail was returned to sender September 23rd, 2024. To support my observations for the violation are light steel framing, Durock, gas piping, and cooking appliances. The photos show truthfully and accurately depict the alleged violation and reflect what I am testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for the work I observed and for what was displayed in the photos shown. Permits have not been applied for, permits have not been issued, inspections have not been performed. Included in my file for the copy of the notice of violation and the affidavit of posting, I have had contact with the owner's representative. The results of the contact were that the contractor started the work without a permit, then abandoned the site once the stop work order was issued. City recommends 90 days to comply and $50 per day after that. Time to bring the alleged violations into compliance is a reasonable amount of time. I'm submitting this evidence, a copy of the case file, including documents relied upon.
Nothing from the city. Special Magistrate, we would like to enter into the case file the photos and the testimony from the building inspector into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, the testimony and evidence is presented is accepted evidence, the city's composite exhibit. Officer Pennington, did you say you had contact with the respondent here?
Yeah, it was the owner's representative.
And what was the remedy you were seeking?
The remedy was 90 days, $50 a day after that.
And how much?
$50 a day.
All right, in case CEBLD 2404059, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of FPC 105.1 and FPC 110.3, failure to obtain building permits or required inspections. Respondent has 90 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per day, Madam Chair.
Number 13, 833 36th Street, CE 24080257. Number 13, 833 36th Street. Yep, to this podium.
Good morning. I'm Code Officer K.T. Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 833 36th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on August the 15th of 2024, citing the following violations. The property was cited for 78-6-5 numbering visible, which has been complied. 18-106M, maintaining the landscape, which has been complied. 18106K, landscape maintenance, which has been complied. 74-4-C-1, hurricane hazard, trimming the trees, which has been complied. 18106B, excessive growth, which has been complied, and 94-446-2-C-3, which has been complied. 18106A, clean and sanitary, 22-32A, certificate of use, 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view, 78-94C, swells and parkways, 22-441, the license, rental license, and 94-71C, outdoor storage. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on September the 19th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on September the 19th, 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on August the 9th of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on October the 15th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of the following violations: 18106A, 22-32A, 74-34-A,
Can you slow down a little bit,
1-H.
Can you just slow down just a little bit so I can
I'm
catch
sorry.
the
What did you get?
The non-complied or 18106A?
Yes, 22-32A, 74-34-A-1-H, 78-94-C, 22-441, and 94-71C. You good?
I'm good.
Reinspection photos were taken on October the 15th of 2024 showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property owner and spoken to her and met her on several occasions at the property. The city is requesting an additional 90 days to gain compliance, so $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Good morning. And do you believe 90 days is a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance for all these outstanding violations?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of the code enforcement officer, into evidence barring any objection.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Natanya Brown.
Ms. Braham, do you have any objections to the documents or testimony the city would like to put into evidence?
Well, I don't know what she's saying. I don't understand what she's saying I didn't comply to. Everything that she asked me to do, I have pictures of before and after of every single thing.
Hold on for 1 second.
Sorry.
I'm going to accept into evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. Officer Weaver, can you listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections that you say are still in violation. Can you speak to each of these sections about what it is that you observe that constitutes a violation?
Yes, could you go to my reinspection photos, please? Yes, ma'am. Okay, this is some of the outdoor storage you'll see. Yes, that, if you keep scrolling, you'll see more items. There's also, keep scrolling, there's items out there, there's a garbage can out there, if you keep scrolling. There's a recycle bin out there. Here, you have the garbage can to the right, you have the recycle bin there, and you have what appears to be like a chlorine, container of chlorine that you would get from a pool supply company. That's out there, so that's the outdoor storage. And then in the swell area, you still have some trash and debris. She did do pressure washing. You still have some trash and debris and missing spots throughout the swell and the parkway area. If you keep scrolling through the pictures, you can keep scrolling slowly through the pictures, and you'll see all of this is the swell parkway area. Okay, and then, let me see what else I have, I'm sorry. For the license and certificate of use, she did apply for rental license, but upon inspection, at first, my partner, Jesus, I'm sorry, he's gonna testify because he did the first inspection for me, and he's gonna testify as to what he encountered and dealt with that, and then I did an additional, inspection after that.
Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. During covering for Ms. Weaver for the rental inspection, when I went to conduct the inspection, half in the hallway and the wall was patched up, dividing half of the house and the other half of the house. And while it was, I believe it was her brother.
It's my cousin who lives
cousin.
with me.
Sorry, her cousin, he's the one that showed me around part of the house, and then let me know that they intended to rent individual rooms. That he was living in the front half.
I'm not renting my place.
That he was renting the front. He was living in the front half. He had another cousin living in the back, and that there were 2 other separate rooms that are going to be rented. So that's why the first inspection failed.
No,
Since it's a single-family home and the whole property has to be rented as one.
no, I'm not renting.
Okay.
Okay, that was the initial inspection. So when I went out to meet with Ms. Natanya, after that, you'll see pictures where she had removed the drywall. There's double doors that were locked and still had the credenza of whatever there. So she moved that out so you could see in the other, but we still had to go around. If you go to each room that's there at the house, each room has an exit, like here. All of that has been changed from the original state. Building is addressing this, but as of now, I'm just bringing my case as to why the rental license could not be completed, the inspection, because the house has been altered. There's also 2 kitchenettes in the house. So at this time, that's why the rental license and COU could not have been complied. And I think that's all the items that's left remaining.
Swills and parkways?
Right, that's when I was showing all the debris, and there's some areas that still needs a little grass and everything. She's been working on it. I must say, she has definitely been working on the property. She's been reaching out. The things that are remaining is minor things other than the rental license. Everything else is very minor.
Don't need a rental license.
And you wanted to give her 90 days, or what kind of fine?
I'm giving her 90 days, $100 a day, and that's more to the point of to get the rental license situation or the house in either return it to its normal state or get the permits for what has been done.
I don't want a rental license. Can I speak, or I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so like, my father passed, this is how the house was given. The house hasn't been redone. This is how my dad bought the house since I was like a child. I'm not renting out the house. I have my 2 cousins living with me. We all help out each other. Nobody's been living there for over almost 2 years, except my cousin. He's been there for 20 years. I don't want to rent the place out. I don't need to rent out the place. If she wants to come and do checkups, that's
Why did you
fine.
apply for a rental license?
She told me I have to get one. I was just outside my house one day. She saw a rental sign. It was like almost 2 years. Nobody was there. I figured, okay, you know what, maybe I can get a little bit of money, whatever, but it's not a
So you had a
problem.
sign out for rent?
Yes. So I said, fine, I don't have to rent. If she wants to come every year, every week, every month to see that nobody's living there, that is absolutely fine. I don't want a rental license. I've called her 3-4 times in the last 2 weeks. She hasn't responded to me. Before that, she has. I took pictures of before and after. It seems like she was just nitpicking. She told me that I had a problem, that I had an angel on my thing. I said it was my mom who died. It's just a good luck thing. I know it's not good luck. She's like, that's not good luck, like it should be thrown in the garbage. That seems like it's a personal opinion. The little thing that she saw beside the barbecue, that's just mulch that needs to be put out. Like, I get it. You can't have one bag, one thing here, everything has to be put away. That's fine. But everything that she's asked for me to do, I have literally done.
Did you see the photos that I just looked at?
Yeah, I have, but I have after photos too. And there was also a hurricane. So she's talking about little debris on weekends. I don't come home after work and do my yard on the
It's,
weekends.
honestly, it seems pretty easy to do, and they want to give you 90 days to do it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I mean, and the issue with the rental license, if you're,
I'm
if you're not
doing-
gonna rent
yeah, I
the
don't
property,
care.
then
I
you
don't-
need to withdraw your,
That's fine. How do I do that, sir?
your permit and let the city know that you're not gonna use the property as a rental.
Okay, that's fine. How do I do that, sir, please?
I'm sorry?
Like, how do I go about that? Do I just go down to over here? Like, how do I do that?
You can
How do I-
talk to the code officer after the
Okay,
hearing, and
thank
she can
you.
give you some direction.
Okay.
All right, in CE 240-82527, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of listed code sections. Give the respondent 90 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Yeah, please communicate with them and make sure that you can get this.
Oh, I have. I just need her to call me back. I have called and emailed you. I don't have any emails from you. You never gave me an email.
Number 16, 512 16th Street, CE 2408-2418, number 16, 512 16th Street.
Good morning, Donald Lattimore. I'm currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. While on patrol, I observed the property located at 512 16th Street, landscape missing grass, and exterior structure in need of paint. I initiated my investigation on July 24th, 2024. This property is occupied. There, I observed the following violations: 18-102-3, repair and/or replace screens; 18-103-I, condition of the structure and equipment, in particular the AC conditions. Units were not waterproof. The wood around them was rotting. 94-442-C-1, landscape, missing grass. And then the 18-106-G, painting of the structure. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on August 2nd, 2024 by the city clerk. I posted a notice of violation to the property and on City Hall on September 6, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posted on September 6, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on October 3rd, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections: 18-102-3, 18-103-I, 94-442-C-1. I took photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the following photographs show the violation still exists on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, and I have not made contact with the property owner. However, I have been in contact with the property owner's son, Brian, who also serves as the property manager. Brian and I have been working diligently throughout the process to get the property up to compliance. I met with Brian at the property on October 3rd, 2024, which was the compliance date. During the inspection, we discussed the remaining violations, how to comply them, this hearing date, and additional time to comply. The city is asking for 30 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $150 until compliance is achieved. Nothing further.
Good morning, sir. And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance for all the outstanding violations?
Yes, Brian and I discussed, and we both agreed at that time.
Nothing further from the city. Special Magistrate, I'd like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of the code enforcement officer, into evidence barring any objection.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Brian Magistrate.
And you're representing Magistrate
my
Properties,
father,
Inc.?
yeah. Yes.
Do you have any objections to the documents the city would like to put in evidence?
Nope.
Without objection, I'll accept in evidence the evidence or case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. Officer Lattimore, what is outstanding here?
Sure, let me go back really fast. The 18-102-3, repairing the screens for the tenants for their windows, which he was in the process of completing. And 18-103-I, condition of the structure. There's still some wood around the structure that needs to be repaired, especially around the window sills, which I pointed it out to him. In 94-442-C-1, landscape to include the grass, which is in the process. He was just waiting for the grass to arrive so he can lay it down.
And what about 18106G?
That has been taken care of. The trash has been sorry. The structure has been painted. Sorry.
Okay, so, Mr.
Both
Vakis?
Brian, just call me Brian. That's fine.
Brian it is. So the city says you have to put some screens on, fix some wood around the windows, and get your grass installed, and they want to give you 30 days.
Just one question. I thought it was the one across the street, 511, I had to do the wood. I didn't think there was any wood on 512. You said to paint the number, and I just want to make sure I wasn't doing, but if you need it, I'll do it.
Yes, go, if you don't mind, jump through the non-compliant photos. Go up, excuse me. The wood on the AC units here, that wood, for the unit, it needs to be replaced. It's,
Okay.
yes,
I
it's.
took the other AC unit out. That was the one that was spraying on the wall. The other one I took out.
Okay.
You want me to change the wood? No problem.
Yes, because that wood, when I was out there, that was my mistake. When I was out there, the wood itself, the photo doesn't do any justice, to be honest with you. But if the wood itself is a little rotten, it's drying. There's a better angle. It's drying out, and I think it's just from the leakage of the AC unit itself.
Okay.
Yes.
That I wouldn't really do, but I can do that.
We didn't discuss that.
So do you think 30 days is enough time for you to get these three things done?
It should be, yes. Nothing ever goes as planned, but yes, it should be.
All right. In case CE 240-82418, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 18102.3. The building needs window screens. 18103I, the wood near the AC units has to be replaced or repaired. And 94442C1, the landscaped areas must be grass. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $150 per day may issue.
Number 17, 511 16th Street, CE 2408428.
I'm sorry, you did say 17, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
My mistake. All right, good morning. Donald Lattimore, currently employed with the city of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. While on patrol, I observed the property at 511 16th Street. Landscape missing grass and exterior structure in need of paint. I initiated my investigation on July 24, 2024. This property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 18-102-3, repairing and or replacing the screens for the window; 18-106A, clean and sanitary, removing trash; 94-71-C, removing outdoor storage; 94-442-C-1, Landscape, adding grass to the landscape. 18-106-G, painting the structure. The city issued a notice of violations to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on August 5th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation to the property and city hall on September 6th, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on September 6th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on October 3rd, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections: 18-102-3, 94-442-C-1. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the following photographs show the violations still exist on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, and I have not made contact with the property owner, but I have made contact with Brian, who serves as the property manager. I met with Brian at the property on October 3rd, 2024. During the inspection, we discussed the remaining violations, how to comply them, and this hearing date, and also additional time to comply. The city is asking for an additional 30 days to comply. Code sections 18-102-3 and 94-442-C-1. If no compliance, a daily fine of $150 until compliance is achieved. Nothing further.
Thank you, Officer Lattimore. And did you take the photos yourself?
Yes.
And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance?
Yes.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of the code enforcement officer and evidence barring any objection.
Mr. Bryan, do you have any objections to the documents or testimony?
No, sir.
Without objection, I'll accept those into evidence as city's composite exhibit. Officer Latimer, are we just talking about these two sections, 18-102-3 and 94-442-C-1?
Yes.
So that's window screens and grass.
Yes.
Mr. Bryan, do you understand what you need to do?
Yes.
Is 30 days enough time for you to accomplish that?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 240-82428, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 18-102-3, which is missing window screens, and 94-442-C-1, which is the landscaped areas must be grass. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $150 per day may issue.
Number 18, 442 16th Street, CE 240-82430.
All right. Good morning again. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I observed the property at 442 16th Street, exterior structure in need of painting and retaining wall needing repairs. I initiated my investigation on July 24th, 2024. This property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 18-106-G, painting the structure, 94-302-A-4, retaining wall maintenance needed, 18-103-B, condition of the structure, in particular, repairing the exterior wood, the walls, and the foundation. 18-103-F, repairing the exterior stairways, 18-102-3, repairing and or replacing screens to certain windows. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on September 5th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and City Hall on September 6, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on September 6, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on October 3rd, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections: 18-102-3, 18-103-B, 18-103-F. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the following photographs show the violations still exist on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, but I have been in contact with Brian, who also serves as the property manager. I met with Brian at the property on October 3rd, 2024, and we pretty much walked the entire property. I pointed out all the the remaining violations. We also discussed how to comply them. We discussed this hearing date and the additional time that he would need to complete the remaining violations. With that being said, the city is asking for 60 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $150 until compliance is achieved. Nothing further.
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance for the remaining violations?
Yes, I do.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence barring any objection.
Mr. Bryan, do you have any objection to the documents or testimony?
No, sir.
Without objection, I'll enter the documents, testimony, and evidence of city's composite exhibit.
No, sir.
The Officer Lattimore, the outstanding issues here, are all these code sections? I think you said they're all still outstanding?
Yes, they have a lot to do with the structure itself. A little more detail need to be given to them. I pointed out a few cracks along the property that he's going to seal, and let's just go through them really fast. In particular, 18102-3, that's something quick. He was working on that. That's replacing the window screens. 18-103-B, that is repairing the exterior wall and the foundation, exterior wood as well. Pointed out a few pieces of wood. And then the 18-103-F is with the stairwell. There's a stairwell particularly to an apartment door. He fixed the drainage that was rotting out some of the wood, fixed some of the wood there, but he's just trying to make it a little more sturdy against the apartment wall, which is another patch job that needs to be done.
The paint and the fence?
The fence wall has been painted, the holes have been patched, the retaining wall looks good, solid.
So it's just the 18103B, 18103F, and 18102-3.
Yes.
Mr. Bryan, do you understand what you need to do?
Yes.
The 60 days is a sufficient amount of time for you to get that done?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 240-82430, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient, found the property in violation of 18103B, repair the exterior wall, foundation, and rotted wood. 18103F, which is patch and repair the stairwell, and 18102-3, which is to provide window screens. Respondent has 60 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $150 per day may issue.
438 16th Street, CE 24082429, number 19, 438 16th Street.
All right, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I observed the property located at 438 16th Street, windows missing screens, some rotten wood around the windows, and the retaining wall needing repairs. I initiated my investigation on July 24, 2024. This property is occupied. There, I observed the following violations: 18-106-G, painting the structure; 94-302-A-4, repairing the retainer wall, 18-103-B, condition of the structure, in particular the exterior wood, wall, and foundation; 18-103-I, condition of structure equipment, repairing and or replacing AC that was in a window; 18-102-3, repairing and or replacing screens to windows; 94-442-C-1, the landscape was missing some grass in some areas. The city issued the notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on August 5th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on September 6, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on September 6, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on October 3rd, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with code sections 18-102-3, 18-103-B, 94-442-C-1. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the photographs accurately and truthfully depict that the violations are still on property. The property owner is not present, but I have been in contact with the property manager, Brian. I met with Brian at the property on October 3rd, 2024. And during the inspection, we discussed the remaining violations, how to comply them, this hearing date, and additional time to comply. With that being said, the city is asking for 60 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $150, excuse me, until compliance is achieved.
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance for these violations?
Yes.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony, into evidence, barring any objection.
Mr. Bryan, do you have any objections to the testimonies or evidence presented?
No.
Without objection, I'll accept that into evidence as city's composite exhibit. All right, so if I heard you correctly, we have 3 sections at issue: the window screens, the structure, and the landscaping.
Correct, yes.
I think I understand window screens, and I understand landscaping must be grass, but you're probably gonna have to give me some details on the structure.
Sure, not a problem. Do you mind pulling up the non-compliant photos? And we walked through this property as well. If you go back to the very first photo, you can start seeing some of the structure itself. If you look above the 3rd window, starting from the top right, count back 1, 2, 3, there's a crack at that window that's dropping all the way down to the middle of the building. It's okay, I took another photo. You can just click to the next photo, so just keep going. That's the retaining wall. Keep going up if you don't mind. Retaining wall. It's grass. Keep going up for me. That's the AC that was, all right. Okay. If you don't mind switching to the non-compliant photos.
That is the non-compliant.
That's the non-compliant photos?
Yeah. But he's been over with me. I know where you're.
Okay, this is the non-compliant photos. So go down one, Monique. That's a part of the crack there. That's a corner that's getting ready to chip off, but you can keep going up. There's a little more detailed photos, which I pointed them out. That's another big crack that's coming from the window. If you don't mind, keep going up, Monique. Which is the AC unit. That's the crack that's stemming all the way down, that continues to run down to the bottom of the structure itself. Yeah. Which I walked around the building with him, and we pointed it out. A lot of them out, Special Magistrate. Yep, so I think.
Mr. Bryan, do you understand what needs to be done on this property?
Yes.
Is 60 days a sufficient amount of time for you to get that done?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 24082429, to make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient from the property in violation listed code sections 18102.3, window screens, 18103B, all adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to those conditions, and 94442C1, landscaping area must be grass. Give respondent 60 days to come into compliance or fine of $150 per day may issue. Thank you for coming in.
No problem.
Number 23-131 First Way, CE 24082582, number 23-131 First Way.
I apologize. Can you recall the case?
Number 23-131 First Way.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On August 23rd, I conducted a rental inspection at 131 First Way. I observed a violation of the shower replaced without proper permit. I then failed the inspection and cited the property for 22-32-A, certificate of use, 22-441, rental license violation, and 105.1, work done without proper permits.
The property was posted October 2nd. Certified mail and regular mail was sent August 26th. Certified mail was returned October 9th. I have since been in contact with the property owner. She has been working diligently to obtain the proper permit that's required for the work that was done. The permit was actually applied for on October 9th. With that being said, city's recommending 60 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. I just wanted to go on record as once the permits have been issued, it will comply the rental license violation and certificate of use as well. That's all I have.
And Officer McFarland, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations being cited today?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for all these violations?
More than enough, because the permits are in.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of the code enforcement officer, into evidence barring any objection.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Good morning, my name is Jasenia Amador.
Ms. Amador, do you have any objections to the testimony or evidence presented by the city?
No, sir.
Without objection, I'll accept those in evidence. The city's composite exhibit. Ms. Amador, the city says that you just need to get your building permits done, and you've already submitted the permit application?
Yes, sir.
The city wants to give you another 60 days to get your permit issued and your, I presume the inspection's done?
By getting the permits, we'll comply the inspections.
Is that a sufficient amount of time for you?
I believe so. This is my first time.
Any reason to believe this wouldn't be done within 60 days?
I don't see any reason that it's not, but the city would be inclined to hear the case again if it does deem more time is required.
Should we just save trouble and say 90 days?
Why not?
Thank you.
All right, in case CE 240-82582 will make the following finding of fact and law. Notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections, certificate of use and business license for rental property and building permits on the property. Respondent will be given 90 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. Please stay in touch with the code officer and let them know your progress, okay?
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Number 266292 Hammock Park Road, CE 24082481. Number 266292 Hammock Park Road.
Is that on the agenda? Okay, I apologize. Magistrate, I need a few minutes with this one. Yes, can we recall it?
Called? Okay.
Yes.
thanks. May we recall
you.
the case, please? Thanks.
I'm going to start from the beginning of the agenda. Number 1934 Paseo Castella, CE 24082423.
Good morning, Jay Francis, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. While patrolling, numerous code violations was observed on the property 934 Paseo Castalla. The property was cited on 8/2/24. Certified mail and regular mail was sent on 8/2/24. Both the property and City Hall were posted on 10/2/24. An affidavit of posting was completed and placed in the case notes. I have been in contact with the property owner. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, outdoor storage, trash can in public view, and restricted vehicle, which has been complied. As of this morning, the clean and sanitary, outdoor storage, and trash can violations are still not complied. Therefore, the city is requesting an additional 30 days for the property to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance within this time frame, the city is asking for $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And Officer Francis, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
Yes, sir.
Did the photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations that you've cited today?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for these outstanding violations?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of the code enforcement officer, into evidence barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept an evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, including the documents and testimony of the code officer as city's composite exhibit. So the trash can is still in public view?
Yes, when I went this morning, she had it out. She put it away yesterday. I went back this morning to just do a
Put it back
reinspection.
out, huh?
It was right in the front again.
What's the outdoor storage?
The outdoor storage was at the front of the door, there is a cage. I don't know if it's for cats or what kind of critter it's for. She also has a few bowls out there. I think she's feeding stray cats.
And I assume the clean and sanitary is all the junk?
The tarp. She removed the tarp, but there's still like dead vegetation out there and stuff like that. Dead palm fronds and stuff like that there.
Any reason to believe that she couldn't get this done within 30 days?
No, sir. I think it's sufficient time.
All right, in case CE 240822423, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient from the property in violation of 7434A1H. There's a trash can in public view, 9471C, outdoor storage, including the cage, other materials by the door, and 18106A, clean and sanitary, keeping the debris and other materials and garbage cleared from the property. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per damnation.
Thank you.
Number 5, 627 55th Street, CE 24082404.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on August the 1st. Certified mail was sent August the 1st. Certified mail was received August 8th. The City Hall was posted August the 5th. This property was cited for 78-94C, well and parkways, 18-106A, trash and debris, 26-35-B, a repeat violation, 18-106M, maintaining of landscaping, and 18-106B, excessive growth. As of August the 13th, all the violations had come into compliance. No other violations are outstanding. The repeat stems from case CE 21030044, and the violations on that one were 18-106A, 18-106M, and 18-106B, which all were finding of fact. Those came into compliance on May 20th, 2021. With this case, the city's requesting $100 per day for each violation that ran repeat. Ran for repeat of total of 12 days. With this, the city is requesting a one-time fine of $1,200. I have had contact with the owner who also advised me that he had a landscape company now that was coming to assist with keeping this property clean. I've taken all the pictures. Every image shows exactly what I saw when I was there.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer Watkins, into evidence barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept into evidence as testimony and evidence as city's composite exhibit. So, Officer Watkins, tell me specifically what the violations were here.
It was Swelling Parkway, need to be sodded. It was no sod there at the time. There was trash and debris on the property. There was extremely high landscaping. You see there was overgrown all around the fence and as well as the back of the property. It's just a lot with the fence around it with this one. The last time it was cited, the city had a contractor, Dove, came and cut and cleaned everything, and that's what brought it into compliance last time.
So the code sections that are are all 4 code sections at issue, and are all 4 of those repeat violations?
Everything except for the excessive growth was a repeat. The repeat violation and Swells and Parkway. Those 2 were not, but the ones that were the 18-106A, which is a trash and debris, the 18-106M, which was maintaining of landscaping, and the 18-106B was excessive growth. Those all were repeat violations.
Okay, and the Swells and Parkway wasn't, so that's just a finding of fact on the Swells and Parkway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of them have been, but the Swells and Parkway, it rained, so the weeds grew, which is considered ground coverage, so.
But that is now in compliance?
Yes, all of them are as of the August the 13th.
All right, in case CE 2408240 make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property having been in violation of 18106M, 18106B, and 18106A. I make further finding that those three violations constitute a repeat violation under section 2635B. I find they were out of compliance for 12 days, and I issue a one-time fine in the amount of $100 per day for a total fine of $1,200. Found the property having been in violation of 7894C, but has since come into compliance.
Number 615 59th Street, CE 240723881.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on July 30th. Certified mail was sent July 31st. Certified mail was received on August the 5th. City Hall was posted July 31st. This property was cited for 74-34A-1H, garbage can placement, 18-106M, landscape maintenance, 94-71C, outdoor storage, and 78-6, which is numbering standards. As of yesterday, the only compliant violation was the 94-71C, the outdoor storage. All the violations are still remaining are the 74-34A-1H, garbage can placement, the maintaining of landscaping, 18-106M, the outdoor storage, 94-71C, numbering standards, 78-6. I have not had any correspondence with the property owner or anyone who represents the property. With this, the city is requesting an additional 30 days at $100 per day after. I have taken all the pictures that you see, and they do accurately and truthfully depict what I saw when I was there.
And Officer Watkins, do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer Watkins, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept into evidence the evidentiary case file. In this case, the city's composite exhibit. So they don't have numbers on the building?
Yeah, it's missing a 5.
Is it compliant?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's just 61.
The trash can is still in public view?
Yes, sir.
And the landscaping, is that just overgrowth?
Yeah, it's just overgrown all over the front part of the property.
Hearing case CE 240723881, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 18106M, the overgrowth of the landscaping that hasn't been properly maintained, 78-6, missing number and the number characters, and 7434A1H, there's a trash can in public view. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per day, may issue.
Okay, back to number 266292 Hammock Park Road, CE 240824881, number 26.
I appreciate that. Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On August 8th, while patrolling my zone, I observed a violation at 6292 Hammock Park Road. The violation I observed was 18-103-B, roof repair, roof damage or in disrepair. Excuse me. The property as well as City Hall was posted October 3rd. Certified mail and regular mail was sent August 8th. Certified mail was signed for October 11th. I have been in contact with the property owner as well as the attorney that's working on trying to get the roof litigated. At the time of posting, I did also have a conversation with the property owner herself. She outlined that she's been working to get this resolved, but to no avail. With that being said, city's recommending 120 days to obtain the permit for the roof replacement or repair, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And Officer McFarland, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations being cited today?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that 120 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for this violation?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer McFarland, into evidence barring any objection.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Lisa Lucena. I'm here on behalf of the respondent.
I'm sorry, you're here on behalf of whom?
Miss Katie and Booth Matthews.
In what capacity, ma'am? Are you an attorney?
I am.
And she's your client?
Correct.
Do you have any objections to the documents that the city would like to put into evidence?
No.
Without objection, I'll accept an evidence the evidence of your case file. In this case, the city's composite exhibit. So the city says that that the structure needs repair and roof and wants to give you 120 days to obtain your permit. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So I don't think 120 days will be sufficient in this case. This case was just filed last week or the week before in the Circuit Court of Palm Beach. As you know, litigation takes some time. We can reevaluate in 120 days and we can let you know how it's going. However, this was a denied claim.
What case was filed in Circuit Court?
Versus Slide Insurance Company. It's a first-party property case.
Oh, so your client is litigating with their insurance company over repairs.
Correct.
So what would you suggest?
Well, as I just mentioned, I think 120 days I can come back and give you an update on the case. I don't think that it's going to be up to code or any type of repair done in that amount of time. Always, the entire time we're litigating, we'll simultaneously trying to resolve the claim, but this is an active litigation.
What's the city's position?
I mean, I'm open to more time if that's what's to get this satisfied.
Counsel?
Well, Officer McFarland, in light of the pending litigation, what would you suggest? What increment would you be open to increasing the amount of time to come into compliance?
Is there anyone living at this property?
Excuse me?
Is there anyone living here? There's nobody
Yes, it is occupied.
Are we concerned about the?
I mean, if the owner's not concerned about what's going on there, man, I mean, she did voice to me that when they did come and assess the damage, that they did not tarp the roof properly, so she's still experiencing leaking at the property. So, I mean, there is sanitation issues there as well. But I can't ask the owner to leave. It's her right to be there. But there is sanitation issues within the home because of the roof leaking. So, I mean, it's something that needs to be addressed ASAP.
All right, this is what I'm inclined to do. I'm going to stick to the 120 days, and what we'll do is we'll just set this for a status hearing after 120 days, and we'll see where we're at.
I'm open to that.
I'm sorry?
I'm open to that.
All right, in case CE 2408241, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18103B, specifically the condition of the roof. And building respondent has 120 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue set for status hearing after 120 days for review.
Thank you.
That's all we have for contested matters. Number 7 is complied, CE 24092718. Number 8, 635 13th Street, CE 24092715.
Good morning, John Frosco, West Palm Beach Code.
Waited all that time for one case, huh?
Right. Well, there were two, but the other one complied. 635 13th Street. The property was cited for grounds maintenance for unsanitary conditions, overgrowth, excessive overgrowth. cleaning the, between the parkway, the swales, and the right-of-way, hazardous trees, and unsanitary conditions. To give you a little bit of the backstory on this, Magistrate, you had, there was a previous case that was cited on this property for like and similar violations, and it's currently running a fine. Can I approach and give you this, sir?
Yeah.
That's the current fines as of this one. So I observed these code violations myself and saw the conditions of this lot. And the contiguous lot actually that's behind it. And the conditions are pretty unsanitary. I did speak with the owner's son when certified mail was sent out, and he gave me a call, and I communicated with him via email about the condition of the property. They did not comply. They partially complied, whoever he sent there, because he's in New York, partially complied the innermost portion of the property, but all the violations still exist. The certified mail was sent on September 18th of 2024 in regular mail, and the certified mail was signed on September 23rd of 2024. And just after that is when I heard from Robert Powell, who informed me that it's his parents' property and that his mother had passed away and that he's been put in charge of this estate that they can't settle. It's been going on for years. So in all of this is that this, and I explained to him that the city would like to abate this if it couldn't get done because of the unsanitary conditions. And if you look at the pictures, it's pretty bad. The property that was behind it was also cited, and they complied. And since we've had the Hurricane Milton and threat of that, the woman that owns the property behind that, I have a lot of the palm fronds and vegetative debris from this lot that wasn't cleaned on her property. You see, so it just ups the severity of this violation.
Are these the same code sections that it was cited for previously?
There's a few that are the same. There's one that it has all the intent of each of the ones that I sign. I think it's in 18 on that one.
You're reciting this for the purpose of obtaining an order of abatement?
Yes, sir. That was the whole principle of it. I took that under advisement, and I was advised to open a new case to request an abatement.
And you believe the conditions on this property constitute a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach?
Yes, I do, sir. If you would like, we could go over the pictures that I took yesterday, and I did the inspection this morning. I re-inspected it this morning.
Yes, sir.
And Officer Frasca,
The pictures that I took yesterday, 9, 10, 15. As you can see in the corner of that picture, all of the trash and debris and the filth that you see there has not been picked up.
You believe that that constitutes habitat for vermin and potentially an attractive hazard for
Yes, sir, absolutely.
children?
Keep going. Right there is actually the 18106B, the excessive overgrowth. In all of that, with the accumulation of debris and that overgrowth and the vermin and it's hard to actually explain how unsanitary that is with the moisture and the
I'm sure the neighbors must be pretty unhappy.
they are.
Counsel?
Officer Frasca, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
I did.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations that you've cited today?
as best as possible.
And what remedy are you seeking? Are you seeking to reset this for an abatement hearing?
No, I'm requesting an abatement.
Requesting an abatement. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer Frasca, into evidence barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, without objection, I'll accept that the testimony and evidence the city's composite exhibit. Officer Frasca, did they give you any indication why they have not proceeded to clean this property up?
He did. It's more like he's in New York. He doesn't have anybody down here. He's gonna try to find somebody. His niece doesn't want to cooperate.
It's like an odd excuse. There's a phone book.
I know. I didn't want to testify to that. I mean, it's all of like a who shot John and whose problem and this problem and back and forth, and we just need compliance.
All right, in case CE 2409271, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections, including overgrowth, excessive growth. The adjoining way has to be cleaned up, hurricane hazard from vegetation, and clean and sanitary. I make further findings said violations constitute a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach by providing habitat for vermin and potential wind hazards. Respondent has 10 days to bring the property in compliance, or I authorize the city to enter the property and abate any and all these violations. Hereby assess the cost of said abatement against the property and property owner.
Thank you.
Number 9 is rescheduled, 5410 Parker Avenue, CE 24092622. Number 14, 3801 Westview Avenue, CE 24082564. Number 14, 3801 Westview Avenue.
Good morning again, Code Officer Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 3801 Westview Avenue. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on August 21st of 2024, citing the following violations. 78-6-5, numbering visible, which has been complied. 94-482-A, parking requirements, which has been complied. 74-4-C-4, trees and hedges obstructing the right-of-way. 78-94-C, swells and parkways. 94-71-C, outdoor storage. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, pressure washing. 74-4-C-5, cleaning up the center of the adjoining right-of-way. The notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on September the 19th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on September the 19th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on August the 26th of 2024. Certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on October the 15th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 74-4-C-4, 78-94-C, 94-71-C, 18-106-A, and 74-4-C-5. Reinspection photos were taken on October the 15th of 2024 showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property owner who requested an additional, she requested until November the 5th to gain compliance. The city is requesting the additional 30 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And Officer Weaver, do you believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance for these violations?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer Weaver, into evidence barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one, the testimony, evidence, accepting evidence, the city's composite exhibit. All right, I can see 74-4-C-4. Those are the trees hanging over the walkway, right?
Yes, sir.
74-4-C-5, the clean up the right-of-way. What is that?
that's bordering around, this is a corner lot, so around connecting to, the next property. A lot of it is in there also with the swells and the parkways of getting,
What's in the Swellen Parkway, like trash and debris?
some trash and debris, some areas need to be sodded or seeded, because of, just patches and everything.
7894C Swells and Parkway, is that also sodding and trash?
Yes. And then there's a little outdoor storage.
What's the outdoor storage?
Let's see where the pictures are. I don't know if you have to go back up, but it's,
Honestly, your pictures don't look too bad.
well, they're almost there. They've been doing some stuff. They
Yeah,
didn't,
I
at the
can tell.
time
So
when they received
I
the,
can see the missing grass.
yeah, and at the time they received the notice and she contacted me, she didn't look on the backside. So they probably would have been completed, but she noticed, and I asked her, I said, did you turn the paper over? So she asked for the additional time to complete everything else. But other than that, they have been working and have, done some things.
So they're pretty close.
Yes.
What is, just tell me, what is the outdoor storage?
There's a ladder and some additional stuff under the carport area, driveway area where the car's not, it may be at the top.
It's all right, you can just testify to it. And the clean and sanitary, is that trash and debris on the property?
And the pressure washing.
And okay, and pressure washing, okay. And you believe 30 days is enough time to bring all this into compliance?
Yes, sir.
All right, in case CE 2408256 make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 74-4C4, obstructing the right-of-way, 74-4C5, cleaning up the center adjoining right-of-way for trash debris and sodding the swale, 7894C, sodding the swale, removal of the outdoor storage under 9471C, and removing the trash and debris on the property on 18106A. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 15, 961 39th Street, CE 240825572.
Morning again, Code Officer Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 961 39th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on August the 22nd of 2024, citing the following violations: 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view, which has been complied; 94-71C, outdoor storage, which has been complied; 78-94-C, swells and parkways, which has been complied; 94-482-A, 94-446-2-B, 18-106A, and 78-6-2. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on September the 19th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on September the 19th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on August the 26th of 2024, and certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on October the 15th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 94-482-A, 94-446-2-B, 18-106-A, and 78-6-2. Reinspection photos were taken on October the 15th of 2024, showing the remaining violations, and they were uploaded to the case. I met and spoke with the property owner's mother, Ms. Glinda, who requested 30 additional days to gain compliance. The city is requesting the additional 30 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And Officer Weaver, do you believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for the violations that you cited?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer Weaver, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept an evidence the evidence case file, city's composite exhibit. All right, so tell me about the tree trimming. What's wrong with the tree trimming?
There's some tree area touching the property, which needs to be just trimmed away from the property on that side there, up in that area. which-
Okay, clean and sanitary, is there trash on the property?
Pressure washing,
Pressure wash, got it.
and then the number and location.
There's stains on the building? I can't tell from that photo.
There are a couple of little areas which, when I met her out there, and in the retaining wall, if you see the wall there in the front, that needs to be either pressure washed or touched up. And also the numbering, it's on the door, I told her it needs to be on the structure, so, she's working on those issues. And the other is the parking requirement. The Jeep is, on the grass.
Parked on the grass, yeah, that one,
Yes, sir.
that's the one I did see.
Okay,
Yeah, that one I got.
okay.
All right. Yeah, so these are, I mean, other than the tree trimming, which might require hiring somebody, these seem pretty easy.
Well, she did, in my conversation, she did say that she had people lined up, and so she did ask for an additional, days, which,
Yeah, that's a good practice, especially hurricane season. We don't want trees banging on our house. In case CE 2408252, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 94446-2B. Trees have to be properly trimmed away from the structure. 18106A, the stained areas of the structure and wall have to be pressure cleaned and brought into compliance. 7862, the numbering has to be on the structure, the house numbering, and 94482A, you cannot park on unpaved surfaces. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or fine of $100 per day may issue.
thank you.
Number 203503 Windsor Avenue, CE 240825593. Number 20.
Welcome back.
Yeah, almost there, you guys. All right. All right, good morning again. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I observed a vehicle parked in a parkway area. I initiated my investigation on August 20th of 2024 at the property located at 3503 Windsor Avenue. This property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 94-482-A, which is unpaved parking; 94-442-E, paved parkway missing grass; 94-71-C, outdoor storage. There was a tire and a few other things in front of the home. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on August 27, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on September 6, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on September 6, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisit the property on October 3rd, 2024 and October 4th of 2024 and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section: 94-482-A, still unpaved parking, and 94-442-E, the parkway is still missing grass. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the following photographs show the violation still exists on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violation I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner or made aware of any representative attending this hearing. The city is asking for an additional 30 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100, nothing further.
And Officer Lattimore, do you believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for these violations?
I do. It's just been a battle with Windsor Street in general, especially with the unpaved parking, but I do believe 30 days is enough time to comply with the violations.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of Officer Lattimore, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one with no objections, I accept the evidence the case file. In this case, the city's composite exhibits. So basically, they are missing grass because they're parking on the grass.
That is correct. Too many vehicles for the parking space, and they're parking on the grass, correct.
All right, in case CE 240825993, I make the following findings of fact on the line. Find notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of 94482A, which is parking on unpaved surfaces, and 94442E, which is the landscaping needs to be properly sodded, which means you can't drive on it. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance or fine up to $100 per day issue.
Thank you.
Number 21, 2200 Indian Road, CE 24092691.
Last but least, Officer McFarland, huh? Last but not least, right?
Yeah. Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 10th, I observed the business at 2200 Indian Road operating without a business tax receipt. I then cited the property for 82-144, business tax receipt required, and 22-32-A, certificate of use required. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 3rd. Certified mail and regular mail was sent September 11th. Certified mail was returned October 9th. I have since been emailing with a representative of Schumacher. She has since submitted the application to me. I have submitted them to be processed. However, there is some missing information to process said application. So with that being said, city's recommending 60 days to bring the business into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And Officer McFarland, did you take these photos yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the property where the code violations are being alleged today?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for these violations?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer McFarland, into evidence barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept an evidence, the testimony, and evidence the city's composite exhibit. Officer McFarland, I presume this must be a renewal of a BTR, right?
No, I thought so too, but they do not have one, and there are several more to come.
Well,
So
that's
what
not
it is,
good.
they have the body shop, the paint shop, the repair shop, and also the dealership. What they felt that they could do was ride all these businesses on one certificate of use, which you cannot. So they have to obtain a certificate of use for each business. So that's why they were cited as such.
Do you believe 60 days is sufficient amount of time to bring this into compliance?
More than enough.
I'm sorry, did you have something to add? No? Okay, sorry. I thought you were making a gesture. All right, in case CE 2409261, I make the following findings of fact on the line. Find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 18144. There's a business operating without a BTR or a certificate of use. They have 60 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per damage issue.
Number 222269 Indian Road 1, CE 24092692.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On 9/10, I observed a business at 2269 Indian Road, Building 1, operating without a business tax receipt and some overgrowth on the property as well. I did go ahead and issue a notice of violation for 82-144, business tax receipt, 22-32-A, certificate of use, and 74-4-C-3, overgrowth. I have since been in contact with the property owner. The business was posted, as well as City Hall, on October 3rd. Certified mail was sent September 11th. Certified mail was returned October 9th. I have been in contact with a representative of Schumacher. This is one of their automotive repair shops. They're aware of what needs to be done. With that being said, city is recommending 60 days to bring the property into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And Officer McFarland, did you take these photos in the file yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations being cited today?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for these violations?
More than enough.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer McFarland into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. So are all three code sections at issue?
Yes, the overgrowth still remains.
Tell me about the overgrowth.
If you go back to one of the photographs I have there, the tree is basically engulfing the vehicle that's being stored on the property. Keep going. You're right there. You can barely see the
That is
vehicle.
some overgrowth there.
Oh, that's good shade.
It's good something. All right. All right, in case CE 240-92692, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 74-4C3. There's a tree that needs to be properly trimmed. 82-144 and 22-32A. The business needs a business tax receipt and certificate of use. Responded to 60 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 24, 3021 Okeechobee Boulevard, CE 240-92640.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On 9/10, I observed the business at 3021 Okeechobee Boulevard, which is Subaru, under Schumacher. I then cited the property for 82-144 business tax receipt and 22-32 certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 3rd. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 11th. Certified mail was returned October 9th. I have been in contact with a representative of the business. With that being said, City is recommending 60 days to bring the property in compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Officer McFarland, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the property where you're alleging that the code violations took place today?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance for these violations?
Yes, sir.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer McFarland, into evidence, barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. So this is, again, just the missing business tax receipt and certificate of use.
Sure.
All right, in case CE 240-92640, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 82-144. No business tax receipt, no certificate of use. Responded to 60 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 25, 2269 Indian Road 2, CE 240-92693.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On 9/10, I observed the business at 2269 Indian Road, Building 2. This property is actually being used as storage for Schumacher. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 3rd. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 11th. Certified mail was returned October 9th. I have since been in contact with a representative of the business. With that being said, City is recommending 60 days to obtain the business tax receipt, or a one-time fine of $250 for the certificate of use. For the business tax receipt violation.
Officer McFarland, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the property where you're alleging code violations took place?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable time for the property owner to come into compliance for this violation?
More than enough.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer McFarland, into evidence barring any objection.
Without objection, I'll accept into evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit, in case CE 24092693, and make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 82144. They need a business tax receipt. Responded at 60 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250.
And lastly, number 27, 6237 Eaton Street, CE 24082583.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. Upon conducting a rental inspection on August 26th of the property at 6237 Eaton Street, I observed violations on the property of the shower replaced in the master bath without proper permits. I then cited the property for 22-441 rental license violation, 22-32-A certificate of use, and 105.1 failing to obtain building permits for the replacement of the shower in the bathroom. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 3rd. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent August 26th. Certified mail was signed for October 11th. I have been in contact with the tenant as well as the owner. The owner actually contacted me yesterday, to be exact. The permit was applied for September 26th. So it's coming to the finish line with that. There's a couple more things that need to be submitted by the contractor so we can have this issued. With that being said, city's recommending 60 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. I also wanted to go on record and let Magistrate know that by obtaining the permit, this will indeed comply the certificate of use and rental license violation.
Officer McFarland, did you take the photos in this file yourself?
Yes, sir.
And do the photos truthfully and accurately depict the code violations being alleged today?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to come into compliance for these violations?
More than enough.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter in the case file, including the photos and the testimony of Officer McFarland, into evidence barring any objection.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one, without objection, I'll enter in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. So they've applied for the permit, and once the permit is issued, they'll be in compliance with the certificate of use and business license.
Correct.
All right, in case CE 24082583, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found a property in violation of 2232A, 22441, and 105.1, which is failure to obtain a building permit, a business license, and certificate of use. Respond to 60 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue.
Thank you.
I believe that's it till other matters, and that's scheduled at 11:30?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to adjourn till 11:30.
West Palm TV, 30 seconds, please.
All right, I hereby call us back into order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate Other Matters agenda, scheduled at 11:30 today. Cases will be heard in the order in which they appear on the agenda. When you hear your case called, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first and introduce the case. And then since most of these appear to be reduction of fine asked, then you can ask me for what you are asking me for and give me the reasons why I should grant it to you. Please remember that I am constrained by the Code of Ordinances of the City of West Palm Beach on matters that I can consider in the reduction of fines and how I am supposed to weigh them. However, it is very important, if you are asking me for a reduction of fine, that you give me what you are asking me for and the reasons that that justify me following that recommendation, after which time I will make a ruling. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means the formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you are going to testify today, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask you rise, raise your right hand so you can be sworn in. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? Yes. All right, please be seated. City can call the first one.
First case number 28-1701 Wilkins Avenue, 99-131P.
Morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For case number 99-131P, address 1701 Wilkins Avenue. This case was originally cited back in 2002. They were cited for overgrowth of the grass as well as the hedges, trash and debris, inoperative vehicles, outdoor storage, the driveway needing to be paved in a non-dusting surface, as well as paint needed to the exterior of the structure. This went to special magistrate hearing. I apologize. This case was originally cited in August of 1999. I apologize. This went to a special magistrate hearing August 18th of 1999. It was ordered for the fine to start running as of November 19th, 1999. It was not brought into compliance until November of 2023. This ran for 8,753 days at $90 a day for a total of $787,770. Magistrate, we do have a agreement to reduce the fine beforehand to $23,633.10 payable within 120 days.
$23,633.10. That's a very specific number.
3%. And that's payable within 120 days.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Sure. Alex Millen. I'm a co-owner of the properties that we're going to be discussing today.
So the city is representing that you've reached an agreement to reduce the fine to $23,633.10 payable within 120 days. Is that your understanding, sir?
That is correct.
Okay, you understand that if you do not pay it within the 120 days, it does return to the full amount of $787,770.
Yes, understood.
Okay. All right, in case 99-131, is that a P?
Yes.
That is an old case, huh? I reduced the fine to $23,633.10 payable within 120 days. If it's not paid within that time frame, the fine returns to the original amount. Good luck, sir.
I believe it was same owner for number 29, 1217 Longwood Street, CE 18070176.
Are you here for this one too?
Yes.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For case number CE 18070176, address 1217 Longwood Street. This case was originally cited July 6, 2018. They were cited for unpaved parking, outdoor storage, landscape maintenance, as well as a prohibited vehicle parked at the property. This went to a special magistrate hearing
September 5th, 2018, was ordered for the fine to start as of October 9th, 2018. That ran for 1,256 days at $100 a day for a total of $125,600. This was complied March 18th of 2022. This was done on the previous owner, new owner here today, Magistrate, as well as this case. We do have an agreement beforehand to reduce this lien to $3,768, payable within 120 days as well.
Mr. Millen, you here on this property as well?
I am, sir, Your Honor, yes.
And you represent the Kenny Family Partnership?
That is the previous
that the
entity
previous
that
owner?
owned the property. The current owner for both properties is Mercer Park Homes LLC. And these two properties were a part of a larger assemblage that we've put together in this neighborhood, a total of 18 properties. And in April, we got the project approved for 245 apartments for the site, 61 of which are going to be workforce housing, in addition to significant right-of-way improvements. So the city is going to benefit far beyond, the fines that they would have gotten otherwise. And also they were under previous owners, so, we
That seems
took
like
it
a good outcome to me. All right, I'm gonna reduce the fine to $3,768 payable within 120 days. If not paid within that time, it returns to the original amount.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I have a copy of your orders for you. Okay, number 30 is rescheduled, 421 Roseland Drive, CE 200300427. Number 31 is removed from the agenda, 2110 Division Avenues, SN 241011791. Number 32 is rescheduled, 421 Roseland Drive, CE 190300092. So lastly, number 33, 627 58th Street, CE 200600062.
Come on up. I know it must be you because it's the last one.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Case number CE 200600062, address 627 58th Street, was originally cited June of 2020. They were cited for sod needed in the yard, paint, and also pressure washing needed of the structure, garbage can placed in view of the public, as well as a prohibited vehicle parked at the property. This went to a special magistrate hearing July 15th, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of August 17th, 2020. This ran for 323 days at $50 a day for a total of $16,150. And this was complied on July 6, 2021. This was done under the previous owner. This is the new owners here today. We do have an agreement beforehand, Magistrate, to reduce the fines to $2,000 payable within 30 days.
Can you tell me your names, please?
Aaron Tooks.
Aaron Tooks.
Yes.
And who do you have with you?
This is Darren Wingate, my cousin.
Moral support?
Yes.
And your relation to Albert Tooks?
Albert Tooks is my father, who's deceased. He passed away in 2020.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you now the owner of the property, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the city tells me that you guys agreed to reduce it from $16,150 to $2,000 payable within 30 days. Is that your understanding as well, sir?
Yes.
You understand that you have to pay that within the 30 days, or it does return to the original amount of $16,150?
Yes.
Okay. All right, in case CE 200600062, I reduce the fine from $16,150 to $2,000 payable within 30 days. If not paid in that time, it returns to the original amount. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Well, unless my eyes deceive me, that's it, right? All right, seeing no further business before us, this meeting is hereby adjourned.